I thought we could start by talking about this stunning development with the signal security breach and the serious questions it raises. Beyond the security lapse itself, what message do you think it sends to our allies and adversaries about the United States and the Trump administration's competence or lack thereof?
In and of itself, right, it doesn't look like something you couldn't overcome. Everybody's put somebody on a text thread you didn't mean to, but you're not supposed to be talking about any of this information on a commercial texting platform. It's illegal, in fact, to do that. So what you're seeing here is really two things. You're seeing a degree of incompetence that is really worrying. This is a Secretary of Defense who had no prior experience of any relevance. He started his tenure by badly bungling the early negotiations with Ukraine and Russia, exposing our bottom lines publicly before we ever sat down at the negotiating table. And now, he's sending attack plans before the attack happens to phone numbers he doesn't even recognize. So it's worrying if you care about the country's security. I guess what's more worrying is the fact that they are not apologizing for it. They're basically telling you they're going to keep doing it. They're going to continue to act illegally using non-classified texting platforms to conduct sensitive national security business.
What makes you come to that conclusion, Senator? Because you're right, they haven't apologized, but why wouldn't they tighten things up now that this has come to light?
I mean, I think they've told you that they don't believe they've done anything wrong. They actually haven't said that they're going to change anything. In fact, it's worse than that. They're claiming it never happened. I mean, they're telling the American public that 2 + 2 = 7, that they didn't share war plans, that there was no classified information in those texts. I mean, they're essentially saying we did everything right and we do the same thing again. That maybe is what's most worrying, because there has to be truth for a democracy to survive. We all have to agree that there is some underlying set of facts that we believe in, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. And everybody saw what those texts said. That was classified information. Those were war plans. And maybe what's most disturbing to me is that the Secretary of Defense is out there saying, no, that wasn't classified. Nope, those weren't war plans, as if the country's going to believe it, as if they didn't see what they saw. Luckily, it was Jeff Goldberg who got that text. If it was some other random number, that information could have been made public, which would have compromised the mission, which would have put those airmen in jeopardy, which would have allowed for the enemy to perhaps reposition its assets. They know what assets we are likely targeting. So it's just pure gaslighting to pretend that that wasn't classified information, that that wasn't information that wouldn't have compromised the safety of our troops and the success of the mission had it gone to somebody else besides the editor for The Atlantic.